Yo, what is up, my dudes? Today I am going to be doing a commentary over this Kindred game. As you guys know, I've recently been one-tricking Kindred, and I wanted to show you one of what can be the more difficult matchups. Obviously, some things go in my favor here, but as the game goes on, we'll just be talking about what was going through my head and how we played it out. So, as you can see, let me go and hit that play button here to resume the game. We've got Victor top lane, myself in the jungle on Kindred, Jace mid, Misfortune on a bot lane, against Aatrox top, Xin Zhao again in the jungle, Ari mid lane, and then Sivir Nami bot lane. So in this matchup, I believe, yeah, we've taken press the attack, and the reason that we took press the attack here is because it makes us a little bit stronger. We've also got, I want to say, the water walking and celerity, so it makes us a little bit stronger early when we are trying to fight Xin Zhao, especially for those marks here at level 1 and level 2 for the scuttle crab in the river. As you can see, just a standard start here. What we should see, I would imagine this game, just like every game, I'll usually do a red and then a Krugs start. So we'll just go ahead and speed this up a little bit until these camps come alive. So again, just a normal start. Let's go ahead and keep it locked on me here. Kite red over here to Krugs, pick up our Q second, and then we're just going to go ahead and kill the Krugs. So with this clear on any champion, you will get level 3 if you grab that scuttle crab. So all you need to do is kill everything except for one medium-sized Krug. So as you'll see here, I'll kill those 2 remaining small ones after misclicking there, and that's all you need. So with that amount of experience, I put you about halfway, I think a little bit over, and you will get level 3 off of this scuttle crab here, and it just makes it a little bit stronger of a start, because from here you can either gank mid lane or you can go down and gank bot lane depending on how the lanes are pushed. And then let me go ahead and just give you my vision here, so that way we're not kind of like game in the game on the commentary. We're gonna play it out. So just letting Jace here know that I can come mid. I've got red buff, so I've got the slow, I've got my E as well, which is just a whole heap of damage. So we wait for Ari to step up here, and then as soon as she pushes up with her wave, we can try and go for some. So Jace goes in, drop the E, and I believe Jace trades here, but that's perfectly fine. Unfortunately, we didn't get the mark off. As many of you may know, if you guys are Kindred players, actually we'll just let this play out. As soon as you mark somebody, they typically tend to back off. So at this point, Xin Zhao has not been seen yet. We haven't seen him, so we don't know his CS count. So we're gonna go ahead and check this scuttle crab, see if he did this. He did, and then we'll just go and clear our bot side jungle. So since we showed mid, pretty obvious that Xin Zhao is going to take our blue buff. Fortunately for us, we catch him here in the jungle while he is trying to do that. Get his flash. There's the kill. Reset the double buff, so we get our blue buff and our mark off of Xin Zhao. So now with that, he doesn't have flash. We also don't have flash, but that makes him a little bit weaker when it comes to trying to engage. You know, if he uses his E, he won't have his flash to catch up and to get that knock up on his Q. So a smart Xin Zhao obviously uses his W for the slow and then uses his E once they try and get away. But we'll see how this guy plays this out. So this here is just going to be, again, just clearing the jungle, making sure that we're getting those camps that we may have missed or want to get the reset on. Because as you guys know, if you do kill a jungle camp, when it comes back stronger. So it comes back essentially leveled up. So again, not sure, as soon as we mark this guy, and it's literally just like clockwork, as soon as we mark the guy, they tend to typically try and ward or back up or try and get some kind of vision because they know a gank is coming. So that is something, if you guys are new to Kindred or are Kindred players, or want to start playing Kindred, just be cognizant of how you're marking your champions, because that does kind of raise a red flag for them. So we can see topside jungle is gone, so we're just going to go ahead and make our way down bot side. Bot is obviously pushing the Nami Sivir lane. A little bit more of a punishing lane, going to shove the turret. And then top lane with that aggressive Aatrox. We just know that victory is going to be strong late game, so that's kind of our hope there. We see the gank mid, try and make it there. Unfortunately, don't make it there in time. But Ahri's sitting right around half health, and again, we know that Xin Zhao doesn't have flash. So again, right here, we are stronger than Xin Zhao with the 2 daggers. He's only got his jungle item. Should have smited chickens here, but I didn't. We lost vision. He fortunately gave us vision there, and then that right there kind of writes the book for the rest of the game, where he makes that one misplay where he gives us some vision. And if we actually back this up here, so we'll come back. Let's say right about there. So he gets vision of us. We have our smite, so we Q away. We drop our wolf and our E. Dropping Wolf's Frenzy obviously gives us cooldown on our Q, and then our E is going to give him that slow. So he hits the slow on us, and right here we're just going to keep kiting back. Drop another Q. So what we could have done right here is smite that big raptor, because our smite... Actually, we smited Xin Zhao, so maybe not. So maybe that's what kept us alive here, actually, is the smite on him, because you do get 20% reduced damage. So we Q away. We lose vision for a split second, but for whatever reason, he decides to come out of that bush. We Q away and pick up the kill there. What we could have done is, I do have that pink ward in my inventory. I'm gonna put it down right now, but as I was coming through this bush, I should have warded that, so that way there was, you know, no discrepancies, no chance that we lose vision of that guy, and then that just makes again for an easy mark here. So being 3-0, we're pretty strong. Basically just able to chase anybody down. Unfortunately, not getting the kill there. Had we have been 6, that would have been an easy dive, or had Jace hit that the shockwave there, again, it would have been an easy dive. So what we should hear again, or what we should see here shortly, is counter jungling Xin, right? Because we are 3-0 and he's now 2-2. We want to try and really kind of step on his throat as far as having a lead goes. And he is thinking the same. He went over there. I'm pretty sure he checked my chickens just to see if they were up. Right now, we had seen him on that pink ward. So yeah, he grabbed my chickens here. Right now, we had seen him on that pink ward, and we know that he's on the bot side of the map. So although Gromp is our next mark, it's not smart for us to go for that, right? If our bot lane responds, then we can. And if Jace responds, then obviously, you know, we can try and fight for that mark. But right now their bot lane has priority, so instead we just take this dragon. No vision on the dragon pit, and although we know Xin Zhao is on the bottom side here, not too worried about it. Although their bot lane again does have priority, this is dangerous, but with no vision, not a big deal. And again, we have ultimate if we really need to get out. Something that I recommend for doing a dragon like that is to stay on that back side of the pit, and with that you can obviously just jump out through the wall, just like you guys saw there. So having Wolf's Frenzy down, or like saving a Q that could be last second, that way you're able to kind of get out of dodge. You can ult right on the edge there, Q outside of the pit, you're still inside your ult range, and you're safe. They have to blow flash, or maybe if they have vision they can get over the wall, but chances are they don't. We see that the mark went down on our Gromp there, or I guess on his Gromp. So we had pinged it just to let the team know, hey, Xin Zhao is alive, just be careful. You know, we know he's on the bot side of the map. He just got that within the last few seconds, so don't do anything crazy. Fortunately, Jace roams down. and it basically is doing the dirty work for us. So right now at this point in the game, we're 3-0. We have our Blood Razor finished. There's really no killing us as far as, except for this right here going through my head. That's funny that I say that as this part of the video comes up. So we actually see, and let's see if we can play that. So let me see. Okay, so we see Jace is moving down bot lane. I didn't mean to do that. We know that Xin Zhao has the timer on our blue buff because he got our first blue buff. We didn't actually get that. We got it back from him. So if we speed this up in the mid lane, we can see Ahri. We lose vision, and we at this point I kind of had a feeling, you know, Jace pings are missing, and I'm thinking, okay, Xin Zhao's probably gonna be here. He just got this, so this being my mark, we walk over here, we see, okay, boom, he just got the Scuttle Crab. All right, let's go check our blue. And then we kind of had an idea that they would be here. Turns out both of them are there. Kill us. Again, this game was live on stream. You could even go back and watch the VOD. And I'm just telling myself how stupid that was because I knew they were there. I knew Ahri had roamed over from mid. I knew Xin Zhao had the timer on that, and he'd be going for that again because he is playing very, very aggressive. And that was kind of like a stupid death where we kind of got ahead of ourselves thinking, whatever, I'm 3-0. I can kill anybody. I didn't even have time to ult after the charm, the CC chain. I just wasn't able to do anything there. So with that, we can see the CS deficit. We're down 30 CS almost, which is kind of giving Xin Zhao, like, it's kind of equaling things out with, you know, just about 15 to 18 CS is almost equivalent to 1 kill, and he's only 1 kill behind us, so don't be like me and miss those jumps. But I dropped Wolf's Frenzy there just to get the shorter cooldown on my Q. Unfortunately, I won't have it for the gank. That's the only problem with doing something like that. What? Give me a break. I've seen challengers do that. So, hey, it happens to the best of us, right? Learning all of those walls that you can jump over is definitely difficult. Since I come this way, again, just Q over the wall. And we kind of pick a fight here. We see Jace coming down and force a flash. All good for us. And now we should have ourselves, well, I wish we'd had a 3v3 there. I didn't see Victor's health. So a free kill up here top onto Aatrox just as his ult falls off, which is perfect. And then we're kind of just able to get out of dodge here. Flash away from the charm. Had our ult in case we needed it, but fortunately we didn't. And then it's kind of just going to go into a reset here. I think at this point we notice how far down we are on Xin Zhao. He's got a level on us, even though we have the damage lead. If we were to take that fight, we're still stronger than Xin Zhao. Even though he had a level on us, we still have that full jungle item build. And all he's got is a longsword and his skirmisher saber at that time. So we could still have taken that fight. It would have just depended on how well we kited and how much damage Ahri was actually doing with that, the GLP and the her glacial augment just being kind of a pain. So this is just one of those things where you kind of try and set up a lane gank and you just don't find anything because your Jace runs right into the lane. So he runs through river most of the time warded. So I would definitely recommend trying to wait until your bot lane has a pink ward, or you know that it's cleared out. Again, for newer junglers, it's a lot of wasted time. Doing stuff like that is a lot of wasted time. A lot of the times, what will happen is you'll be trying to set up a gank like through Tribush or something, and your mid laner will just roam up right through their ward. The laner will just back off, and then you're just wasting time sitting in Tribush because there's nothing actually to gank because they know. So we'll just go ahead and speed this up. Again, the bot lane has been pushing all game, right? The Sivir's wave clear. Anybody who plays Sivir, anybody who knows Sivir, her wave clear is absolutely nuts. So we kind of sit towards bot a little bit. Victor is behind, but that's fine. We know that Victor's probably going to lose that lane early. But if any of you played with the Victor, he gets absolutely huge late game. So a nice game, again, coming in through Jace. This Jace did a fantastic job this game. Roaming, Sona procs the spell shield right there on to Sivir with one of her abilities to allow Jace to get that knockback. And then we come in right here for the cleanup crew. Pick up some easy kills, and I believe the burn might get Ari here. No, it doesn't actually get Ari. We still have our ultimate, so although we're staying around, we're extra low. Sona's pretty low as well. We still have our ultimates, we're not too worried. Gonna go up and check the jungle because we are, quote unquote, I guess, ahead at this point. We felt we were pretty far ahead of the Xin Zhao. We want to check that jungle just to make sure that if there's anything for him to get back into the game, because I had a few games the day that I had recorded this or played these games where I was beating junglers, but I was letting them get back in the game. I wasn't punishing a lead, so unfortunately, not able to find anything there. He had already cleared his bot side jungle. But if you do get that lead, guys, and you know that jungler is either on the opposite side of the map or dead, take the time to go check those camps. Go in there, pick up the ground, pick up the wolves. That way when he comes back, he's not going to have anything to come back to. He's just going to be stuck where he is after dying. Right there, just dropping Wolf's Frenzy just to get over that wall again, just to be safe. And then I think right here I have a pretty close call. Yep, so right here I stop for a second. I'm thinking, can I do these chickens? If I had kited these a little bit more appropriately, it'd have been a very, very, very easy clear. But I am actually a chimpanzee, and I get dangerously low. Fortunately, our passive heals us up, and we pick up the chickens. That's one of the camps that I have a hard time, not a hard time with, but sometimes I'll just forget to clear those. And as I said before, if you don't clear the chickens, then you kind of get shafted when it comes to the experience that they give later on in the game. So we just saw Ari and Xin Zhao on our blue. So now what we do is just, hey, they're top side. Let's try and do something bot side. We pick up the Scuttle Crab, which gives us some health and some mana back. Sivir goes absolutely nutty here. Drop our ultimate, and I'm pretty sure we get a pretty sick outplay here. Flash over the wall. Our Sona flashes over. We Q back. So this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier. And we'll speed this up. So I drop my ultimate. My ult is right here. So what we do is we Q over. You can see we're still in our ultimate right there. And then we get the heal from it, and we're out of dodge, right? Any champion like that. So Sivir had to flash over the wall to catch us. Now she doesn't get back. There's no way she gets back unless there's that blast on there. So that's something that you guys should probably look into, or like something to just keep in mind. Again, for any new Kindred players or anybody who wants to start playing Kindred, that I guess is kind of like some of the tips that I would say is play that ultimate around the walls. It works well around any of the walls in like mid lane, or the smaller walls in mid lane, any of the buff walls, again, Baron Pit or Dragon Pit, stuff like that. So Xin Zhao picks up the Rift Herald here, so we know he's on this top side of the map, and we had seen him take our blue earlier, so we know that's not there. We're just gonna go ahead and clear this boss out of the jungle. Again, this just to try and keep us relevant, right? We obviously got to keep clearing as much as we want to keep ganking. We are down in CS, and this Xin Zhao again is playing very aggressive and is very strong. He's a very strong ganker, with his Q, with his E, with his W, the slow, the ultimate, all that stuff, the displace. Kind of a wasted Herald there. It gets a turret that was already kind of low. Not wasted, obviously, because they did get something out of it, but typically you want to try and make a play with that, right? Get a kill, you know, make it uneven, and then lay that Rift Herald down so there's no way to kind of contest it, or that you can continue pushing with it afterwards. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, and you literally see the exact opposite of what just happened there, right? You see they don't do anything with their Rift Herald, they don't get a kill, they don't do anything, they just put it down and leave it. And then we kind of turn it on them where, okay, you guys don't have Rift Herald now. You guys are down players. We're just going to push it back on you. So that's just something to keep in mind again with that Rift Herald. You're kind of wanting to just do more, right? Just do more. Always use it as a and then, you know, get a kill and then Rift Herald. You know, rotate top and then Rift Herald. You know, if you see two people on the bottom side of the map, you know, then Rift Herald, stuff like that. So at this point, being 5-1, and you know Jace being 3-3, he's also pretty strong. we pick up a super easy kill on that Xin Zhao, who isn't building tanky at all. You can see he's built that Phantom Dancer and the Warrior enchant. And then we chose to go with the opposite, where we didn't want to, you know, be getting blown up like that Xin. So we pick up a Phage here, kind of pushing towards that Black Cleaver, just to give us a little bit of survivability. That way, you know, we're not getting blown up immediately, and we're actually able to get that ult off. You know, it's not taking just one charm for us to die. We also had this Jace roaming just about all game, which was amazing because it made it super easy for me to feel comfortable getting my marks. So if you guys, again, so I guess another tip or another helpful hint for playing Kindred is if you can duo with a solo laner, that'd be amazing. Or maybe even a support. Obviously you don't want to do too much with your AD carry because you don't want them to have to leave lane too much. But if you can duo with a solo laner that can get themselves ahead or push the lane out for you, making it harder for their top or their mid laner to leave that turret, so you're able to go get those deep marks. Never die for marks, but if you've got backup, it definitely doesn't hurt to go ahead and go for those. So a beautiful Sona ult, stunning 2 there. Ahri gets killed by the Jace, I believe, and again, the story kind of just, it writes itself here. Just caught up in the jungle. We flash over the wall after our ultimate to avoid any damage. Nami goes down after flashing, Hex flashing over the wall, and we're just able to kind of push through. So basically what I wanted to showcase this game was continuing to kind of step on that Xin Zhao. You know, wherever he was, we were trying to be. You know, we didn't want him. He got a couple kills mid early, and we weren't there to counter gank. So we really wanted to basically make him feel useless. If we could be where he was, especially with our ultimate, immediately there's nothing he can do. You know, with say an even bot lane. Granted, our misfortune at this point is 7-1, but you know, when the bot lanes are even and Xin Zhao's going for a gank, or even if misfortune's up a little bit and he's trying to even the odds, kind of, you know, get some gold in his bot lane's favor, we're there to shut that down, whether it be with our ultimate or just killing or anything like that, or at least make the trade as favorable for us as we can. So right there, I shot that blast cone, and I kind of goofed it, right? I meant to go over the wall, but I didn't. And with that, okay, there's a death. That was a stupid death. That shouldn't have been another fight. I should have just hopped out. But with that, that's not a bad idea to do if you're afraid that the enemy jungler might steal it. Because just like many times we've all tried to do as junglers on the blue team, we all try and blast cone over this wall, run around here, blast cone into the Baron pit, and steal the Baron, right? Well, you might see the same exact thing when it comes to the enemy jungler here. Granted, we did have vision. If he was to make his way this way, get around, and then be able to blast cone in, easily could have stolen that Baron. So, or the dragon, I apologize. So, although I didn't mean for it to happen that way, that's definitely something to keep in mind as you're moving forward, like in your guys' games, where you if you do have that fear of the jungler kind of jumping over for you. Again, this Jace just doing beautiful things. This Jace is absolutely fantastic this game. So I doubt he'll ever see this video or anything, but Crash, you fucking killed it, my man. I appreciate your roams and all that stuff. Just a very mobile Jace player, basically playing mid and jungle, going down and picking up some bot kills while that Sivir was turbo pushing that lane. Another thing that you guys can take into consideration when just jungling in general is look at your lanes. So early Aatrox bullied Victor. Xin Zhao early can beat Kindred, obviously. We see that being opposite here. Jace pushes Ahri, and then that bot lane, obviously Sivir is going to push, and the Sivir Nami is obviously going to push in the misfortune Sona. So take those kind of things into consideration when you're starting. You don't have to start bot side every time just because you're going to get a leash from your bot lane. You know, you can start top side start that red buff, get a leash from your top laner, and that way you can end up on the bot side. If you know, okay, so say I start blue buff this game, I know Sivir and Nami are going to push the lane. That way I can end up on this bot side and help that bot lane out. You know, they might not be losing, but they're probably going to be shoved into turret and look for an early gank there. Also, it's very, very hard, or it's very easy to forget about buying pink wards. So just something that I'll usually do throughout every game is, you know, just remind the team, hey, buy pink wards. You know, that way you're not wasting your time. We talked about it earlier where if somebody runs through a ward and wastes your time, or if you run through your ward, you're really just wasting time. You're running up there, the laner's going to back off, you're going to leave, and then it's going to go right back to this way it was, and you did nothing except for run up there for no reason. So another kill again onto Xin Zhao. At this point, now we're all kind of just moving as a unit, which is what you love to see as a solo queue game. Everybody kind of just working together, even though it is preseason. Everybody was doing their part here. So Aatrox, really bad play on Aatrox's end. If Aatrox stays in my ult, he doesn't die in his ult, so it allows his ult to group, or to get larger, that bar to fill up more, so that way he regenerates more. But he ends up running out of my ult and getting killed. Flash over the wall to get away. We get healed up from Triumph, and then Jace just cleans up there. So red team actually surrenders at this point. But yeah, guys, I know I said a lot. This is the first time I've actually done a commentary, so I apologize. And I didn't watch this back before anything. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you drop a subscription on this channel. Also, you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/voicecrack. No, twitch.tv/peanut with 2 U's, PEANUUT. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.